baseball fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook Postgame Show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is a final from L.A., and the game, the series, and the road trip, and at least one of those results are good. Welcome in, everybody. It is the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Aaron Morse, and you. Yes, you. We're almost literally to the minute 24 hours away from the trade deadline. More on that. We've got a long show today. Plenty of time for you guys to mix and match a whole mess of things. They lose today 3-0 on the arm of Jacob Mizorowski's 7-strong 10K performance. Just 2 hits in the span of 3 hitters, and that was it. It's that Wade Meckler kid down the street. That's who it was. That
Anaheim native, grew up idolizing Mike Trout.
Yeah, wow. So, that he lives in the blue house down there, second from the corner, always causing trouble.
Lives down the road from Anaheim Stadium, from Angel Stadium.
Meckler. I'm going to call your mom and dad. Knock it off. Nicolay Law Talking text line is there for you, 414-677-1250. We are on a mission today. We're going to read every single text that comes in today.
All right, let's do it.
So if you want to get some attention here on your text messages, that's what we're doing today. Every single one, good or bad. Hell, I don't care. You can give a recipe on that text line. We're going to read it.
Should we start with 414? This team can win 90-plus games, but will not go far in the playoffs with this offense. Shutouts becoming more frequent, and batting with runners in scoring position will be the death of them.
5 for 28 with runners in scoring position in the series. It's the Angels. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You went 3-3. Oh, you're going to tell me it's out west, though.
I think a lot of people are going to text in similar to these. I mean, we've already gotten a handful of these ones that we've been so focused on pitching. Everyone's attitude is going to change.
Offense.
It's 24 hours, almost 24 hours away, and everyone's attitude is going to change.
Yep.
Starting pitcher's a want. Bullpen help is a want. Bat is a need. Jeff in Fox Point says, hey, guys, pitching not the issue. We need a bat or 2 tomorrow. What hitters are available to get in a trade? We've been so focused on pitching.
You know, my emotional side of me says, you go get Skubal. Okay, fair enough. We're going over the top to get Yordan Alvarez. Make the Astros trade him. Make them. Go up so high that they can't turn it down. That's how that works. That's the emotional side of me, is saying that. This offense, you guys know this by listening to this show. You guys know I think it's a good offense, but I think it might be one of the most inconsistent offenses in all of baseball. They just go away. Is it recess time? Oh, yeah, the flight was caught on the tarmac. That's right. Oh, I forgot about that. You know, come on. There's way too much talent on this offense. I don't know what the solution is. You did get Yelly with a day off today. That didn't help. With the Brewers' luck, it'd probably be the day that he would have went 3 for 4 with 3 knocked in. I mean, but come on. This offense scored 9 runs in this series. 9. You can even do the math on that. There's Aaron Morse, Tim Allen here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios as the Brewers fall 3-0 and a wasted performance by Jacob Mizorowski. You got to give him some run support. He strikes out 10. He's got 10 or more strikeout games this year.
Yeah, over on the Growth Law video stream on Facebook, James says, what a pathetic performance to get shut out and lose to that crap team with the Miz on the mound, then a bunch of symbols for a swear word unacceptable.
Yeah, it just is. It is. And I don't, maybe you go, instead of Alvarez, you go, all right, we're going to go get Robbie Ray and Luis Ariz. And then let's go game on. I was thinking about the Skubal thing. I don't care who the Dodgers start. If the Brewers, and this is a big if, you never know how things are going to play out in the postseason. But game one against the Dodgers, we all are enamored by that Dodgers starting rotation. Let's not forget about this cat that we've got here in game one. Maybe it's a little different series if Miz shoves 7 innings in their face.
Well, if he keeps throwing cutters down the middle of the plate, and eventually one of those Dodgers hitters probably going to do what Wade Meckler from down the road did, and if, let's say, Skubal's in game one or Yamamoto's in game one, and the Brewers do this, who cares? Honestly, if they have Miz, if they can't score a run against Walbert Urania, who says they're going to score off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto or Tarek Skubal?
Well, Yamamoto could leave one out over the plate for Bowers. And see, that's the thing. We forget about that. Now, again, that's game one. So, flip that coin. You could start anybody you want, LA, in game one. But this is Mizorowski over here. His velocity was down today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that was all about. Maybe details on that coming up. But I'm not sure, he wasn't 103, 104, all jazzed up. I think he's throwing 105 in the postseason, a legit 105, not this roundup nonsense. Hey, coming up on the show today is going to be the Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski. We'll get into his brain.
That's going to get people going.
It's a little cloudy up there, but we'll find out what the Polish pipe bomb has to say about this trade deadline. And by the end of this next commercial break, it will be 24 hours to the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Peralta sweepstakes is now over. Those of you not knowing that Peralta went to the Tampa Rays. Luis Castillo went to the Chicago White Sox. You're seeing a couple of moves here or there. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I smell a rat in this one. Maybe it was an unwritten agreement by the GMs. Maybe Major League Baseball is, I won't say colluding, but just encouraging these teams. Wait till Sunday and Monday, and let's go Barrage City like the NBA does. Let's go Barrage City on first day of free agency for the NFL.
We've only got about 3 minutes here before we have to sync up a break so we can get onto the network. So maybe this is a bad time to ask this question, but do you think there's any sort of collusion or the mouse sniffing the cheese to Skubal going to the Dodgers in terms of other owners and saying to their GMs or baseball operations,
let them go to LA. Yeah,
let them go so that we can get a CBA negotiation.
I don't know really what's more important at this point for fans. I was listening to our syndicated coverage here on one of the stations, and it was, is it most important to have a season and disregard the cap, or take care of this thing now and have no baseball?
Yeah.
It's a good question. It really is. And you might default to, well, at least there's baseball. But I will add this. It's broken baseball. We all know it. I've been saying it for years. I've been called all different things over the years, Aaron. This was 15, 16, 17 years ago on this very radio program when I was saying, and I was accused of just being a whiny little baby, when I was saying baseball economics is not fair. Now, again, this was 17 years ago. It's not fair because of that, higher payroll can just, that essence of higher payroll, just buying better players with no governing of it. You just open checkbook. I think the bigger markets should be given a little pass They're in a big market. There's higher costs, higher infrastructure, the whole deal. But when it comes to on the field, you got to keep it as close to even as possible. I'll also say that, look, the NHL has put parameters on it. The NFL has put parameters on it. The NBA has put some parameters on it. Why? Ask yourself why. So, okay, we'll get more into the Brewers situation. Does this offense frustrate you as much as it does me?
Oh, it does. The talking text line. Someone said 3 hits off something called Walbert.
This is truly what it's just. This is the epitome of what this offense does. They can look so good and just go away for a while. Is that experience or not? We'll talk more. A lot to come here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. We'll welcome in our network stations on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. There's Aaron Morse, Tim Allen, Brewers Fall, 3-zip, Nicolay Law Talk and Text, 414-677-1250. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is a final, the game, the series, and the road trip, and at least one of those results are good. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Aaron Morse in today. We will be joined by Jeff Orlowski, the Polish Pipe Bomb, in a little while, so stick around for that. The Brewers fall today 3-0. And waste a Mizorowski performance, 83 pitches through 7 innings of work, a couple of hits, a walk, 2 runs. That was a homer by that Meckler kid. And 10 strikeouts. Just, dudes, wow. And he's in a Brewers uniform. That is super cool. But when you put up 0, what are we doing here? It's the LA Angels. You scored 3 runs yesterday and got away with it. You did win the series, so we'll give them credit on that. Will we not? Yes, we will. Check that box. But you did lose the series, and I think you're coming back in the 6th gamer in San Francisco, horrible team. In LA against the Angels, horrible team. You come back 3-3, and I know what you're going to say. Teams oftentimes struggle in all sports from the Midwest and the East when they go west, when they travel to the West Coast. Come on, play this game on the moon. These games on the moon, you shouldn't have gone 3-3 in this.
Yeah, 4-2. 4-2 is what it's got to be. You have to win series against the worst teams in baseball.
You had a chance to bail yourself out by losing one of the series and end up 4-2. With a win today behind Mizorowski. I mean, you had a base runner thrown out trying to steal. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's Hamilton. Once in a while, they're going to get you. Bowers, what are you doing? You can't get picked up in a tight ball game, buddy. Sorry. You can't do that.
David Hamilton caught stealing today.
The caught stealing. Yeah, you just, again. And I know that you're going to tell me once, hey, that's baseball. Those guys get paid too. And once in a while, the other team, even though they're not better than you, that's baseball. And they're going to jump up and bite you a little bit. And come on. We're hearing, are we not hearing a little bit too much of that? A tick too much. I'm not saying every single game should be won. I mean, I understand that. But when you got a 6-pack of games against the Giants and Angels, what do you think you should do? What do they think they should do against those two teams?
You can't get an easier West Coast road trip than the Angels and Giants.
That's the easiest one you're going to find, yes.
You can't find an easier one.
Agreed.
Any other mix of a West Coast team and you're playing somebody better. This is the easiest West Coast road trip you can get.
Good point. So now we are T-minus 24 hours to the trade deadline.
23 hours and 55 minutes.
And so what is going to happen? Do you suddenly now get swayed a little bit by needing a bat? Does that push you into maybe we ought to just tinker with acquiring some offense? I'll tell you what, even if it's not a splashy move to get a bat, like an Alvarez, who one could say he's probably not even available. Houston's right in the thick of it. I think an additional mid to a little bit better bat might just energize this offense. What do you think of that?
Maybe.
Where it's a starting bat, though. Not one of these Brandon Lockridge type guys. I'm not knocking Lockridge. But, a guy that's a little bit better than your average utility
you're not
Monasterio type player.
You're not adding a fourth outfielder. Don't add a fourth outfielder. That's pointless, right? Don't add a random bench bat that plays the infield. It's pointless. They'll never play.
Buddy of mine said sell high on Garrett Mitchell. With the clock ticking on team control, there is still some, but the clock's ticking on him, and sell high on him. You've been getting by just fine without him for how many years? It's something to think about. Sal Frelick going to be back in a few weeks. I mean, so all of these play into this. Brewers now 69-42 with 51 games remaining. The Cubs did lose, so that's good. They maintain a 6.5 game lead over the Cubs in the Central. I think I'm targeting that 40 game mark where you get to 40 and under, and you still have this thing sitting at 6.5 or 7. I would feel pretty good. I would feel more comfortable than I do now with 51 games left for sure. So let's think about that target as well. But we're on a quest today to read every single text that comes into that text line. The Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250.
You want me just rattling them off?
You can rattle some right
All
now
right.
before we get to the calls. We see on hold there. If you feel the need to participate in the program, you can do that. 414-677-1250. Hey, we don't know it all, but I think between all of us, we can kind of come to a conclusion, potentially what the Brewers need. Go ahead.
All right, 715. Brewers pitiful. They can't hit. That's Dan. Justin from Kansas City. These next 2 weeks, we need to win games like this to build a larger lead. We have the prospects to go get somebody big. Let's go for it. Mike in Verona. I'd love to know the Crew's cumulative runners and scoring position average since June 25. It's been atrocious.
Ooh, good one. Okay, maybe we can look that up. Runners in scoring position since June 25th.
I can do that.
We can look that up in a bit.
Scotty Tiffany says catcher acquired and Joey not in the lineup for a couple games. Contreras and Joey with a prospect or two up for grabs. I really hope not, but writing seems to be on the wall. I don't think Contreras is going anywhere.
No, he is so valuable to this pitching staff. Now, he had a rough road trip. He was, 3 for 20, 4 for 20. Same for Mitchell, right around there, 3 for 20, 3 for 21. But offense, really kind of is rearing its inconsistent, ugly head. All right, let's start things out on the Nicolay Law Talking text line on the phone portion of that at 414-677-1250. I asked the question yesterday, if you're not going all in this year, what would it take this organization to go all in? Is it just brand or style of play? Is it a certain amount of analytics that play a part? If we hit this here, maybe runners in scoring position is part of it. Maybe on base percent, OPS, whatever it might be. Maybe they have their own algorithms of reading those things, and maybe they have a system in check that says, hey, we're a quality team. Regardless of our record, these numbers indicate that we're going to do this, 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 and this. All right, so what would it take then? I mean, this is the second year in a row you have the best record in baseball at around this time. You had the best record in baseball last year for 162 of these things. That was the biggest sample size you could have gotten. Then what would it take then? More power? What if they were third in home runs right now? Which they're close to last. What if their on-base percentage? What if their run differential? What would it take then? I'm not sure to not make a splashier move or two that they've been without the last year or two. I'm okay with that because it's not my decision. It's their decision. Fine. I don't have to. I'm glad I don't have to make it. Trust me. But I think it screams the question then, what would the team then have to do to make it happen? Because if this isn't making it happen, what do you think it would have to take for it to happen? Now, you got to have a dance partner. I get it. And I said it last week or so when, we're going to hear this. We were in talks, not going to get into details, but it just didn't materialize. We just couldn't get it to the finish line. We're going to hear that. We're going to hear that. All right, we'll go to Chase at 414-677-1250. Chase, I wanted to hear your stories yesterday. I love the stories. Now, Chase, you're in LA. You were in LA for the games, and your son had just a wonderful experience. I gotta say, you are a testimony of how just super cool this organization is.
No, absolutely. Yesterday was magical. I fear I used up all of my magic last night, however, because today was anything but magical. But last night was amazing. Seeing Gary Mitchell's mom and grandparents and giving the card to my son, letting him pick the one that he wanted, getting Cooper Pratt's auto and talking with him for a second, and Murphy. It really was magical. And it is that top-down effect that you were talking about. It is a really just an amazing organization, and they do care about the fans, and they will give you that little extra time. Going to today, however, the sentiment, I got a big mouth, I'm a big talker, Lord knows. And so I was talking to a lot of Brewer fans there, and there was a ton. I hope you could see it on the TV, but there was a lot of Brewer fans. We showed out today. But the sentiment was, after the Los Angeles Dollars got Scooble, we do need to make a splash. We are in it to win it. We don't want to just be good. However, being good every year is awesome, but we want to win it this year. And we do need that extra piece. And I really hope that a game like today will nudge the organization to realize, hey, you know what? We got to just add a little bit more juice. And so that's my takeaway from it. We might look back and this might be a blessing in disguise, guys.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, things happen for a reason. As I said yesterday, man, it appears that oftentimes, pro sports has a way of just the gods in whatever sport have a way of just saying, no, it just doesn't work like that. There's Cinderellas. Who thought the Seattle Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl last year? There weren't many. I'm sorry. There weren't. You can't tell me. Look at the odds. And they're pretty on it. Yeah, they're pretty on it. So level it off by maybe a Brewers team knocking the Giant down. I mean, it happens quite a bit in pro sports.
Right.
Chase, I'll add a story to you. I was at the airport in Arizona for spring training. We were coming back, and Tommy and I were in line at TSA. And we had our gear, and I don't know, Tommy may have had a Brewer shirt on, and the guy behind us said, "Hey, you guys Brewer fans?" And we're like, "Of course, but we're here for work." And he goes, "Hey, I'm a Brewers pitcher." And here I'm thinking,
What?
wait a second. The Brewers are playing right now. Why are you in? You know what I mean? We were traveling on a game day, and they're at Maryville playing baseball. And I'm like, with all due respect, shouldn't you be with the team or over on the minor league side? And he said, "No, I hurt my arm. I'm headed to Chicago for some surgical stuff." And I apologize. I forget his name. He was a draft choice a few years ago. His first name is Josh. He's a pitcher and went down to injury. So we subsequent to that, we're going through TSA, and I get chosen to get frisked and strip searched and everything. And I'm like, guys, it's fine. Just whatever. Just do your thing. Wand me up. And finally, the kid, the young pitcher, he came over and he goes, "Hey, it looks like you're a little busy, but here's a couple of cards for you guys." He did the same thing. He pulled out a couple of his draft choice cards and signed them and just left them with Tommy. And I put it on a shelf somewhere. But that's what this organization does, Chase. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and you can feel it. And the fans, man, I'm giving high fives left and right, and everyone's reciprocating. And they got big smiles on their faces. And, today was an ugly game, let's be real. But, there was still a lot of smiles leaving the ballpark. We won the series, and, we're happy. It was okay. It's okay.
Well, safe travels, Chase. Thanks for the update, man. Stay in touch.
Thanks, buddy. We'll do, Timmy.
All right, you got it. Yeah, that's cool. 414-677-1250, Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. I think what it really comes down to is, number one, and we'll get back to the call. Number one, if you agree that the Brewers farm system is stacked. Okay, do we all agree with this? I'm doing the video thing. Check that box. Can we check that box?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a consensus across the board? Is the Brewer farm system stacked? Yes. Okay. Then it has to be answered if seasons like this do not allow you to go all in, then just tell me what does so I know. Just indicate to me what it would take, just so I know. You have the most wins in baseball coming into today, and you have the biggest stacked farm system in all of baseball. If that's not good enough, I would disagree, but I would just want to know what then it would take to say, oh yeah, now this is the year. And it still might be. I'm not gonna discount that. There's 23 plus hours left. All right, we go to KJ. KJ, you're next. Uncle James will get to you and your Sunday conversation. What's going on, KJ?
Good evening, Tim. Thanks for taking the call. Tim, today was a perfect example of why they really have to go out and get a bat.
Okay.
I mean, you got your ace on the mound, and you can't score any runs for him. He's going to give up a home run here and there, but you got to be able to protect him with some runs. I mean, and it seems like it's been something throughout the years that the Brewers have been faulty with, and that's when their ace is on the mound, whether it was Woodruff or Burns or whoever, they just don't score runs. I think they get in their mind that, oh, well, you know, he's going to shut all these guys down, so we're good. You know what I mean? But you got to score runs.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I say
tough to win a game when you have 0 runs. Yes.
Yeah, very hard, impossible. In fact, the whole idea is to score frickin' runs. So, and if you don't, you're going to lose. But I think that they need to go out. I mentioned, I spoke last night. They need to go out and get a Luis Arraez. Get him. Tim, to me, he is the most, potentially the most impactful player that the Brewers can pick up right now. I mean, arguably, you would say he is the Tony Gwynn of this era. I mean, he's always on base.
And with a player like that, which isn't Yordan Alvarez, but with a player like Arraez, would it kind of energize the offense just to get a legit hitter in that everyday lineup?
Absolutely. And you put him at DH, you don't have to worry about, I mean, you could also play him. He plays 2 or 3 different positions, and you can kind of, you know, pick and choose when you want to play him out. He's got a great arm. He runs. He can steal base, and he's got it all. He's got all the tools.
What happened to my boy Joey Ortiz? What happened here? He's cooled off a little bit. Oh, that's what happened. You're platooning him.
Yeah.
When a player gets hot, Pat, come on, ride the wave a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't care, righty, lefty, whatever. Just ride the wave once you get a player hot.
Yeah. The other thing is, Tim, you know, the Dodgers definitely did this intentionally to block the Brewers. And I think it was a foregone conclusion even before they started this negotiation. I don't know if it came out of Scooble's mouth to say, I want to go to the Dodgers with his management, the GM and whatever. But it's very clear to me that's what happened, and that's what went down. I mean, because the Brewers, they offered to pay all of his salary, Scooble's, and give them, you know, people, prospects out of the farm system. I mean, I don't know what more you could probably ask for if that wasn't, you know, already put in the place.
But I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think, KJ. I do have to go, but thanks for the call. I'm trying to think how that would work out by the general manager of the Detroit Tigers to listen to Scooble and say, Yeah, but I can't take less, Tarek. I can't take less for your request to go to the Dodgers. I can't take less than I could get for Milwaukee or Chicago. Or is that possible? I don't think that's possible. Aaron, do you?
It would be a bad job of doing your job.
It would be. I just don't think that happened. I can't believe that would happen. So, all right, we'll continue the conversations. Jump in. Many texts to get to, too. We're on a quest to read every single text on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. I didn't guarantee that we would do it. We're on a quest to.
There's a lot of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
414-677-1250. They can be one-liners. It could be a joke. It could be going crazy. It could be a recipe. It could be, what are you doing tonight? What are you having for dinner? Every single text we're going to do tonight. As we're going to visit with the Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski. A ton to get to and plenty of time. We're still an hour and a half away from being done, so you've got time to jump in. Nicolay Law Talk and text 414-677-1250. Aaron Morse, Tim Allen. Brewers do fall today 3-0 with less than 24 hours to the deadline, and we're talking about it on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. All right, welcome back. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Aaron Morse. A lot more Brewers conversation to come in the next hour plus. And we're going to hear from Jacob Mizorowski coming up in a little while. We'll hear from another guy with a ski. That's Jeff Orlowski. The Polar Spy Bomb will join us at the top of the hour, so stick around for that. And we are monitoring trades around the league. I'm really surprised that there aren't more. And I smell a rat here. That's something the floodgates are going to open up and it'll all be condensed into like, I don't know, an 8-hour span. And bam, boom. And guess who's going to be front and center? MLB Network tomorrow afternoon. Say 11 o'clock Central, noon Eastern, and they go on with their trade coverage and everything breaks loose. I don't know how you could possibly coordinate that, but it kind of seems like it, doesn't it? There's a couple smatterings of moves here and there, but you would think there would have been more. And again, I don't know. It's possible. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. We go to the Falls and say hello to Bill. Bill, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you doing? 3 or 4 real quick points. I'm going to try to keep this real.
Nah, you got time. Plenty of time.
First of all, I'm going to give the Brewers an F so far. Going out and getting a catcher when you got Caro in your minor leagues.
Does that give you a warning flare though on him, Bill? Does that say, maybe the future's not as bright as we thought with him?
Well, maybe could be trade bait too. I don't know, but and then you get a pitcher who's 30 years old. You got Yoho who's 26 and actually pitching pretty good this year.
Has been.
So what did we get in return? I mean, how did we improve with that trade? I don't think we improved any way, shape, or form.
I'm puzzled by it too. I am, because it's also the team control over Craig Yoho.
Yes. And second of all, Brewers need a bat. You can't go into the postseason with your DH 237 with 7 home runs. I'm sorry, you're not gonna win the promised land with your DH hit that way. Go out. I like, there was a previous caller that said Arias. If you want to go the small ball route with the Brewers, he would fit right in with them. I think he would.
Yeah, he would. He certainly would. And you put him at the top of that order, and with his on-base percentage and just stellar batting average, you're going to have base runners plenty. Yes.
And then if you want to give a guy a break, you can throw him into the field, and one of your other players, you can throw him into the field and give somebody else a day off. He can play multiple positions. So, but what are you going to give up for him? I mean, and third of all, I want to see the unredacted offer the Brewers gave Detroit. I mean, what the Dodgers gave Detroit is a Monday afternoon trade. It's all what it is. I mean, this is, especially in a trade deadline, Detroit got nothing for Skubal. They got prospects. What did the Brewers, other than the $9 million, give?
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to find out. And do we ever find out what the offers were that were turned down?
Yeah. I mean, the last I heard, it was Dodgers, Brewers, and Tampa Bay. Dodgers, the only thing I heard, or Brewers, the only thing I heard was they're willing to absorb a $9 million salary. Well, okay, you're going to absorb $9 million. What are you going to give else in return? This is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. What are you going to give in return?
Would love to hear. Would love to hear what the Brewers may have offered.
The last big splash the Brewers did was CC Sabathia.
It
was
Yelich, though. Yelich was a big deal. Now, that wasn't a trade deadline deal, however.
Yes. Yeah, I'm talking trade deadline deal with CC Sabathia.
Zach Greinke.
And then the last 5 or 6 years, we've really done just average stuff.
But Bill, in your mind, then what would it take if this isn't the time last year or this year? And I would really center the question on last year and this year. If not last year and this year, then what would it take?
I'm going to go out and I'm going to say this year, go out and sell what you got to sell. You're a small market team. You've got the best minor league farm system. Go out, sell it, and go all in. Spend some money. Get the absentee landlord from California to pony up some ching, and go all in. I mean, as of yesterday, we had the best record in baseball. If this isn't an opportunity to go all in, what is then? You know?
Yep. Well, that's what I'm asking today. I have no idea. I don't. Maybe never. Then.
Well, obviously, at some point it comes up to management, the owner. Are you going to spend some money to get us to the promised land? Dodgers obviously I don't know how they're going to afford this 20, 30 years from now, especially with all these deferred contracts come due.
Yeah.
But you got to start spending some ching here. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get there. And it's going to only take one or two ball players, I think, with this ball club.
I just think one more legit bat, and you know, yes. I still want a slam dunk reliever, but one legit bat may just energize the rest of the guys. It may just mix up the chemistry a little bit to the point where they get a little more consistent. Bill, what are you doing? What do you got going on a Sunday night?
I'm grilling right now. I'm cooking up some brats and corn, and getting ready to sit down and have an adult beverage and eat.
Oh, you are so lucky. I'm jealous. All right, Bill, thank you. Stay in touch.
You take care, guys. Have a good night.
You got it. Nicolay Law talking. Text line 414-677-1250. What it do, Uncle James.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Of course, what it do, but what a dud of a road trip. Come on. This team is so much better than 3-3. We got shut out 3-0 on the opening game of this pathetic road trip, and we got shut out today on a perfect performance by Miz. All we got to do is score 3 runs when Miz is on the mound. It's a guaranteed win. Don't you agree?
It should have been. Yes. Now, hold on here. Aaron, I'm going to ask you to look up something. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison. Can you find me some audio on Joe Walsh? He's in the Eagles rock band. Okay. Can you find me some audio on Joe Walsh? Not songs. I want him speaking. I want to hear Joe Walsh speak. So I know there's some guitar tutorials that I took with Joe Walsh on how to I'm getting a little technical, how to set up a Gibson Les Paul, because that's what I play, that's what he plays. But just find me some conversational audio with Joe Walsh, and let's do a side-by-side comparison of Uncle James and Joe Walsh, because I think they sound alike. Maybe I'm wrong, but there are some similarities here. Both have, and I mean this with all the respect, and I mean this with all the respect in the world to both Joe Walsh and Uncle James, in a really friendly customer service kind of way. There's some brain cells gone there. What do you got here?
There you go.
Told by people who wish they couldn't remember most. People who wish they couldn't remember most likely.
Yeah, those that do remember say I had a great
It does sound very similar.
Now, if he was all jazzed up like Uncle James, they would sound identical. Yes.
Fun that
well, of course.
I remember.
Actually, I got nothing going on, Tim, for the rest of the night. I'd love to hang on with Pipe Bomb and me, and you. Their ratings will be off the hook. It'd be just better than last year or the first year, 2 years ago when I called.
Find some more Joe Walsh. I mean, I'm starting to dial it in here in my ear. I think it's good. Yeah, I think they're similar. They might be the same guy.
if you're able to, like I said, I'd love to hang on and ask Pipe Bomb a couple questions, and I got a couple for you, Tim. But before we get to that, I know a lot of Brewers fans are bummed out we didn't get Scuba or Freddie Peralta and maybe change him back to the way he was, but there's no guarantee we were going to beat the Dodgers with either one of those guys, right?
Well, nothing's a guarantee. You're right.
But I agree with all the callers, man. We need a bat somehow. I think Lockridge could be a good player, but we need some high voltage in our outfield. We need somebody that can hit the damn ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got rid of Perkins, who can't hit, but I guess we got a catcher who can't hit, so I guess that was a trade-off. I don't know about the relief pitchers we got, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not 100% sure the Brewers are going to do much of anything because I think there's collusion with all these other owners. They don't want the Brewers to succeed. They don't.
Well, and it would bolster their argument that the big payrolls have just a better track record of winning on the upper end. It's not the look at the Brewers low payroll. Look at the Rays. Look at the Guardians. I mean, you can win baseball games, but we're talking on the upper end, the upper echelon, the elite games, the NLCS, ALCS, and World Series.
Yeah, but Tim, you got to admit, L.A. and New York Yankees and the Dodgers, they don't care about the Brewers. We're just minor league teams to them when it gets to the real deal. And I don't know, man. I think, like I said, all these other general managers are asking for the moon. They're wanting Fisher. I heard that Scooble, they wanted at least Henderson and a bunch, maybe Fisher and Pena. We can't trade those guys away, can we?
You can trade some of them for sure.
Well, I suppose, I guess, a lot of these guys, they just don't pan out either. I mean, sometimes these prospects, they're good in the minors, but when they get, the bright lights on, they ain't worth a damn.
No guarantees with some of these prospects. They're prospects for a reason. They all won't work out at a high level or a mid-level even.
Well, that's what I thought. And like I said, we traded a bunch. I think we trade that first baseman. I can't remember his name. It was supposed to Laporta, maybe. It was supposed to be so great, and we traded him for Ceccia. Yeah, yep. And he didn't pan out worth a crap.
And look at the players that the Brewers gave up for Christian Yelich.
There's garbage.
But they were high-ranked prospects, though. That was a big deal at that time.
Well, I guess, like I said, it'd be nice to know the percentage of guys that are, I heard that the Dodgers traded the 5th, the 7th, and 19th player. Again, like I said, everybody's going to ask for our top prospects. We can't trade Fisher. We can't trade Mate. I mean, maybe Pena, and then there's some other outfielders we possibly could trade. Hell, I mean, if we can get something for Mitchell, go ahead, or Frelick. Nobody's going to want him now, but again, I can't believe we actually got something for Pukey Perkins. Cleveland's such a dump town. Why would they want him? I mean, come on. Why was even Perkins on this team this year?
I would say
he didn't even hit his weight.
They probably wanted Perkins because Bo Naylor's just as bad at hitting. Well,
that could be. I asked Tim, earlier this season, and Tommy, maybe he's cutting Murphy's yard and washing his SUV. Who knows, man?
Well, Luis Lara should have been up months ago. He should have been up shortly after they signed him long term. We were screaming on this show, just bring up Lara. He can't do worse than Perkins. And he's actually, I'm growing to really like Luis Lara. You know what? I'll go one step further. You got to find a way for more at-bats for Lara. All right. Uncle James, we got to scoot, my brother.
Okay, well, before I go, can I please say, Tim, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hook up this weekend because Kenny's in charge of the entertainment. Johnny wants to go spend all his money at the casino. But hopefully I can hook up with you soon.
Well, let me know. You guys let me know what night you're going to the casino.
Okay, for sure. And spark it up, folks. And as always, keep the buzz buzzing.
You cannot tell me he doesn't sound like Joe Walsh.
I just dropped the call. Oh, wait, he's back.
I never wanted anybody to find out that I didn't have a clue. But in retrospect, none of us really did.
Uncle James is back. He's back on the line.
There he is.
He's back on the line.
I mean, there's some live Eagles recordings of Joe Wallace saying, "How we doing?" I mean, it's just it sounds just like Uncle James. I think it might be Uncle James.
Probably is.
Just saying. All right, we'll take a break. Pipe Bomb to join us soon. We'll hear from Jacob Mizorowski. We'll continue to read some of the text messages flying in on that Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. And on that text line, go ahead, throw one in there. What it then would take for the Brewers organization to really decide in their heart of hearts to say this is the year we're going big. It's gonna hurt, but we're gonna ship off a bunch of prospects. We're gonna go out and get what we need. What would it take? If not now, I'm not sure you're gonna do any better than you've been doing the last 2 years to the deadline with the best record in baseball, targeting and a chance at 100 victories. If that's not good enough, then it will never be good enough then. Then it'll be melodramatic at the trade deadline every single year, no matter what occurs, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know. Just going on their track record. It's not mine. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. There's Aaron Morse, Tim Allen, 3-zip Brewers fall, but less than 24 hours to the deadline, and we're talking about it. Stick around, a lot to get to. All right, welcome back. 3-zip. Brewers fall in Game 3 of this 3-game weekend set in Anaheim against the LA Angels. 3-zip? Are you kidding me? No runs? Ooh, yeah. Some bad luck, some bad base running, and you didn't support Mizorowski. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. The Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski, is in the green room getting ready to go. He's going to give you the answer. Is Uncle James really Joe Walsh? And it might be.
He might be.
He just might be. Okay, so we said at the front of the show that we would read every text message in on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line.
We're behind.
Okay, 414-677-1250. Anything you want, just text it in. We're going to read it. Go.
All right. Bring up Burke and Fisher. Has to be better than Vaughn, Ortiz, Hamilton.
Ooh, yeah. No, Vaughn's
not
still
Vaughn.
Yeah, you got to let
Burke
him.
They're also in Double-A, not Triple-A. So that's all right. Abrams, Wood, or Alvarez. We need one of the three.
If you want them, you have enough ammunition to go get them.
I don't want Arias. Totally overrated. Poor defense. Slow runner. Doesn't walk at all. 40 career homers in 8 seasons. Okay, well, first of all, defense has completely changed around this season. He is a good defender this year. Who cares if he walks? He gets on base because he just gets a hit. So who cares if he walks?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. And homers, I guess, whatever, I guess to that. I mean, you're fair.
I mean, the Brewers are winning a ton of baseball games without home runs, just saying.
I don't know. I think it would be great if he was just getting on base, at a 400 clip.
It changes the dynamic of this offense. I think it does. Just an additional legit hitter. I'm not saying it's the answer, but it would be a step in the right direction. This is my gut feeling that I think the Brewers' offense is better than what they're showing. The bottom line is you can throw out a bunch of numbers that indicate that this offense is good. But the difference here is that you guys watch every inning of every game. By virtue of you listening to the show, it means you're really in tune with Brewers baseball. You guys know what I'm talking about with the inconsistent offense. They're inconsistent. They are. And they scored 9 runs in this series. You had 6 on Friday. You just step ladder down 3 yesterday and then none today. I mean, level it all off and get 4 a day.
Bryce Terang and Luis Rise have the same on-base percentage. So, at some point, if you get a hit or a walk, it's the same thing.
It is. Yeah. Yes, I'm a batting average guy. I start out with a batting average. You got a good batting average, I'm okay with it.
All right. Let's see. Alan in Pensacola. Red Sox are throwing offers for Ellie De La Cruz and Hunter Green. Knock on doors, get creative. Reports have Gary Sanchez on the trading block. Can't believe that's true. Hello, calling Matt Arnold. Hello, is anybody there? Fellas, the Garrett Mitchell experience has apparently been mothballed. He's 11 for his last 53, robust 207 batting average.
Mm-hmm. He's been scuffling.
He's hitting 300 in his last 63 games, though. So bigger sample size there, I would say.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said at the front of the show, I'm all right if they were to move Mitchell. I'd be okay with that. I would sell high on that right now.
All right,
got a rough road trip,
so we got to get to a break. But
we'll get to more text messages, and we'll get to the Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski, on the other side. This should be good. Is it cloudy in the forecast upstairs in the computer room in the pipe bomb household? We'll find out. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Aaron Morse, Tim Allen, 3-zip, Brewers lose, and clock ticking away on the deadline, and we're talking about it. Talking Brewers baseball on this Sunday evening. Less than 24 hours away from the 2026 championship season trade deadline. Brewers did fall today 3-0. But more important things on the docket as you're tuned back into the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Got an hour of this. We need to knock down some text messages. We'll get to Pipe Bomb in a second. We see you on hold there as well. If you've decided to participate in the conversation, 414-677-1250. So they're going crazy on the YouTube stream.
Oh, yeah.
With the comments there, too.
Yeah, people are calling people idiots and morons and shut-ups.
Yeah. Can we be friendly?
Yeah. They're fighting.
What are they fighting over?
They're fighting over who should be available for trades, who they should trade for, should they not trade for anyone. Jesus Mate should be available. No, Andrew Fisher should be. No, neither of them should be. People, I mean, listen, this Tarek Skubal trade and this 3-0 loss have got people turning on each other.
Yeah, be nice. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. I know people are on a quest to be so right at times that it turns them sideways. You want to be right, so you're right. So you're right. Okay, you win. I call it contesting in a conversation. You just go crazy to the point where you get all emotional and you want to be right. I mean, that's okay. I mean, whatever. But we'll try to keep it civil. Can we do that? We need to read some text messages, definitely,
yes, we do.
Because we're way behind. Pipe Bomb, we'll get to you in a second. What you got?
Luke in Cedarburg says, I trust Murph to get the guys going, make sure the bats are hot going into the postseason.
Still say it's a good offense, just so you know.
Same old ugly problem, waste of good pitching, uninspiring road trip. If they get to the playoff, the bats will ice up again. Don't get me started on what will be a meh trade deadline. I'm truly disgusted. But this is who they are, sadly.
Here's one that says, why do I think tomorrow is going to be just an average, normal day?
Maybe the Skubal trade makes it an average, normal day.
Maybe.
Jeff in Milwaukee says, just remember, Atanasio, summers of fun, no trades. Fellas, I've said this before. I'll say it again. There are times when it's okay to say Murph didn't show up if the team doesn't show up on offense and the manager hasn't shown up either. That's okay for now, but he better damn well show up for the playoffs and not make lame excuses like last year.
Okay, I would like to know and I'm not disagreeing with you. I would just like to know how he didn't show up. That's all. I may agree with you. I just need to know the situations, the circumstances. You guys know me. I've said for years that a manager can slump with his decision making, his strategy. Sometimes you just get on a bad roll in life, let alone at work. It happens to Pat Murphy and every other manager that has ever managed. You can get into a slump.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just get into a groove of trusting too much or not trusting enough, and that's just sometimes it's just how it goes.
What else you got?
Yeah. Let's see. Joe says, I'd like to offer the Brewers a challenge course or to come on their staff as a challenge advisor. Last pitch to Lara was a ball, and the game might as well challenge it. These are basics they have to understand.
They were out of challenges.
They're out of challenges, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone's asking if we're reading YouTube comments too.
Yes,
there's a
we
lot
can.
of those. We'll get to some of those as well.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Frank. Not Mrs. Fault. That's just the 262. So
okay, Frank, happy birthday.
Let's see. Today's a prime example of having a top-notch pitching staff and all the pundits, whether in state or nationally, raving about Skubal, arguably having one of the best pitchers today, Miz, throwing in same old story like in the playoffs. They can't score, so it doesn't matter who you have, a pitcher. No team has ever won a game in which they didn't score.
Agreed. And we haven't played game one that Miz is on the mound in the postseason yet.
Someone has a recipe. Garlic butter pasta ingredients. 8-ounce spaghetti, 3 teaspoons butter, 2 cloves garlic, minced salt and pepper, Parmesan optional.
Amazing.
Cook pasta, melt butter, and cook garlic for 1 minute. Toss with drained pasta, season and top with Parmesan.
Oh, give me a salad and a Hostess apple pie for dessert, and we're all set. All right. Let's bring in Pipe Bomb. That's the Polish Pipe Bomb, Jeff Orlowski, periodically. Will just pop up like a cartoon bubble And Pipe Bomb, here we go. Less than 24 hours. You're here to talk about your fantasy football leagues that you're in, all 4 of them, and the NBA offseason, right?
Yeah, NBA offseason, man, my favorite topic besides the WNBA. I can't get enough of the dub.
No. So Scooble goes to the Dodgers. Did that surprise you at all?
No, who cares? I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's great because it gets us pretty much a guaranteed lockout. One way or the other, missing baseball next season, hopefully it's not a lot that's going to be missed. But I think it's worth it. This thing needs to get figured out. This is completely unfair. It's been unfair forever. You talked about how many decades you've been talking about it on this team, the finances of baseball. Let's get it fixed once and for all, and never forget that the owners hold the leverage no matter what. And eventually, there's a hell of a lot more people, Cooper Pratts and Joey Ortiz's, towards the end of the bench making little money than there are Bryce Harper's and Shohei Ohtani's who are making all the money. And so it won't take long before these guys start sitting there and having to write them mortgage checks. And if they got nothing coming in, they're going to be hurting.
The timing of this might be bad to have a confrontation between the players and the owners. And here's why. And you can relate to this, Jeff. There's this is caught right in the middle of a political firestorm. We are so divided politically, and there's one of the key issues is that the rich need to pay their fair share. Because you have half the country that believes that since you make a whole bunch of money, you need to share it. And I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you're popped right into this political firestorm at the same time, as you just said, Pipe Bomb, the owners hold the cards here. And a lot of people politically disagree with that as business owners. They shouldn't hold the cards. You pop this debate right in the middle of the political debate at the same time, and it's a firestorm.
Yeah, but the thing is that the idiots that say that the rich need to pay their fair share, obviously, people who know they are. And what you're doing with the floor and the ceiling, once you fix the salary in baseball, you're going to end up making the people who are at the floor a hell of a lot more money than they're making now. None of these guys are, on poverty watch. Obviously, barring the minor league players, because yes, they are starving. But all the people who are in the big leagues, even if you make the minimum, you're not on like below the poverty line. They are going to get huge jumps in salary. So you're helping more than what you're taking away from. So I don't see what the big deal is, even with when people try to bring politics into every single thing.
More players make more money with what the owners are negotiating. Mm-hmm. More players. There's strength in numbers here. More players are impacted financially positively than anything else in this. More players get affected with raises.
Yes, sir.
Now, do the big biggies, 350 million, 320 million, 760 million for Soto, the billion for Shohei Ohtani. That to me, it defies that logic a little bit, because more of the worker bees make more money in what the owners are providing here.
Yeah, absolutely.
As simplistically as I can put it.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And that's why the political argument shouldn't make sense. People, they want to bring politics into everything.
But you do know how that's going to impact this, right?
Yeah, because it impacts everything. But should it? No.
It shouldn't. Let's get a call in here with Pipe Bomb. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We'll say hello to Dan. Dan, what's going on in West Bend, Wisconsin?
Hey, guys. There's only one way this Brewers team can beat the Dodgers now, and that's divine intervention. So what did Jesus tell his disciples? He said, I will make you fishers of men. So we're going to need to call up Jesus and Andrew Fisher. and Jesus can hit the curveball.
That's awesome.
Love
man.
it.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Yeah, how about some more text messages? Because I don't know if we're going to achieve our goal here, reading them all. Pipe Bomb, you know what that's like. It's just a pile of them.
That recipe sounded delicious, though.
Yeah, people are upset, right? Just get shut out after losing Tarek Skubal 12 hours earlier. People aren't happy.
Wait. Just real quick before you start with the tech. We did not lose Screwball. Okay, we never had Screwball. Oh, so okay, so we missed out. Now, any people, okay, a lot of people, a lot of reactions today. Anybody who says that the Dodgers got Screwball to prevent the Brewers from it is ridiculous. Like, that's just stupid, in my opinion. Not calling anybody stupid, but that opinion is. Because we had the best record in all of baseball last year, and we beat the Dodgers 6-0 during the regular season. Did they look scared in the NLCS? No, they sure as hell didn't, as they swept our ass out in 4 straight, giving up 1 run a game.
You know why they got Skubal is because they can. That's
exactly.
why they did it, because they can.
And the thing
Brewers
is,
could have.
Okay, but go back and say the Brewers picked up Screwball. Does that make us favorites in a 4-gamer in the NLCS against LA? It sure as hell doesn't.
No, and I agree. But it sure makes it a difference maker in games 1 and 2. I would love to have that 1-2 punch go against their 1-2 punch. Now it's a horse apiece, at least in the front 2 games. That's what I would say. I would say that front 2 games. I would also say that you never know. Pipe Bomb, you know this. You never know what affects a baseball game. You don't know if it happens in the 2nd inning, the 7th, or the 9th. I still want to know what happens if Bryce Terang is hit by that baseball in game 1. I want to know how that thing. I don't think it shakes out the same way. Now, do I think the Brewers would have won that series? Probably not. I mean, you had some phenomenal pitching performances by the Dodgers, but sometimes you punch someone in the nose to start a fight, and not that you broke the nose, but you bloodied it a little bit. Sometimes that affects the full fight. We'll see. But and now break it down to a shorter term. It's Mizorowski against whoever they want to throw out there, whether it's Yamamoto or Snell or Skubal or Glasnow or Ohtani. You still have Miz here. Let's see what happens when that first volley is thrown by the Brewers. I'm not saying they won't pick up a pitcher. I'm not saying anything like that. But if you were to play that series again, let's go Miz against you guys. We have a little different framework here.
I guess.
On the text line, Matt New Berlin says, Brewers need Yelich to start hitting, or this season will end like the rest. He has no position versatility and sits like an anchor in the DH spot, limiting the flexibility for other players' off days.
You got to keep playing him for another 10 to 14 games-ish, maybe 17 games. And if it does not improve, there's one thing left. If he's not hurt, he might be fighting the back thing, guys. We don't know this. But if he's not hurt, you have one thing left. And what is that? That's a humbling. He's never been humbled before in his run here. That's the only thing I can think of is move him down to 6th or 7th. Move him down there. Christian, you have to understand that. Maybe that motivates him. Maybe, I don't know, the chemistry is a little mixed, little different mix in the chemistry in that lineup. Maybe it helps. Maybe it not only helps the team, it helps Christian. But a humbling can help us all at times.
All right. Stadium Shea says, if the Brewers are serious, get a bat, reliever, and starter. All gas, no brakes.
If you wanted, and again, I'll say it again, Sparky and I have been saying that for a week now. You have in that farm system and on your big league roster enough to go out and get what you want. Not what you can get. You can go out and get what you want. Now, am I saying sell the future and move, 80 of your top 10 prospects? Of course not. But if you wanted to make those deals to Stadium Shay's text there, if you wanted a impact reliever, you have enough to get him, and you have enough to get a bat, and you have enough to get a starter. If you really, truly wanted to, is that a good business decision? I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions. First of all, we're not paid enough to make those decisions. That's why they make a lot of money. There's a lot of pressure on those ivory towers, as Murphy puts it, to make those sort of organizational tipping point decisions. It's big. You're gonna go all in. That's a big deal.
Kurt says, guys, remember when trading Hader demoralized the clubhouse and they went in the tank? I could see that exact scenario playing out this year after hearing their GM say they're going to take big swings and then whiff on that big swing. If not now, when? We have no idea what the future looks like, but we do know what today looks like. Go get C.J. Abrams, move him to third.
Pipe bomb, that's the question. If the biggest question is, what then would it take for you to do the big swing? And not just be involved in talks, not just at the end of the day say things didn't materialize, not at the end of the trade deadline at 5:00 tomorrow say the deal just couldn't hit the finish line. I don't want, what would it take then? Would it take, the Brewers are now 69-42, 51 games left. Would it take an 80-win season to this point? What would it take?
Well, I think it's going to take getting the financials figured out. It's not going to happen this year, a big swing. I don't think it happens until the cap and floor come in, because the Brewers had chances to do it. Now, going into this deadline, a lot of fans wanted Screwball. I wanted both Abrams and Wood. I think it would be great to get Luis Arraez in here, just for the only reason, A, he's a good ball player, and B, I want to hear how everybody butchers his name. We heard it once today on this very show. So, that would be hilarious. But, okay, so even if we've got all of them, say we got Arraez, we got Wood, we got Abrams, we got Screwball, we're still not favored to beat the Dodgers. So, does it have to happen where all of a sudden 3 or 4 of their top players have to go on, season-ending, have season-ending injuries for us to take a swing come the deadline? Maybe. But yes, do we have way too many prospects and not enough major league players who can make a difference? Yes, we do.
I think if the Brewers would have got Scooble, you said James Wood and Luis Arraez, I think they would be the favorites to win the World Series over the Dodgers if they got those 3 players.
Ooh, I don't know.
Chance.
I doubt it.
You added 3 All-Stars.
Right, but you still have a Cooper Pratt. You still have Luis Lara. You still have these dudes on your team who are not Mookie Betts. They're not Shohei. They're not Freddie Freeman.
James Wood would have replaced Luis Lara. James Wood is in the lineup right in the middle of the order. Luis Arraez would replace Joey Ortiz. That's your 2 weakest spots, if you will, or replace Yelich. Yeah, and then you add Skubal to the rotation, and you got 4 out of the 7 games, Miz and Skubal.
Here's what I'm hoping for. Divine intervention. Come on. The baseball gods, they can be crazy. They can be kooky. They can move to the right and get sideways. They can go to the left and duck, dodge, and
the Dodgers have done about as good of a job as trying to avoid those kooky things happening. They've done about as much as they can.
So the baseball gods, they owe them some bad luck.
Yeah, the gods are going to try, but the Dodgers are doing their best to counter it.
When is the last time the baseball gods put the thumb on the scale for the good, for the little guy? Back when the freaking Royals won the World Series? Yeah. Half the people listening right now weren't alive back then. So, what are we talking about?
All right, more text messages. We got to rifle through these things.
Okay.
Ms. Rowski on the way, too. We'll hear some comments from him.
Until the Brewers can put a lineup together, that 3 through 6 that can produce, it doesn't matter if signed Skubal or any other pitcher. Love the Brewers. Love your show. Go Brew Crew. The 920 says the only thing that can make today's game bearable is alcohol and grilling out.
Okay, escape with alcohol. I'm with you in about an hour.
The 414 says Caro, Fisher, Burke, and Mitchell for Alvarez. Contreras not going anywhere anytime soon. Mitchell 30+% strikeout rate.
Yeah, be careful on the Wild Bill. I think that in large part, the part of the success of this starting rotation, as young as they are, has been taking nothing away from their talents. Drowens and Gassers and Hendersons and these guys. Harrison included in there. He's not exactly a crusty veteran. In large part, it is due to Wild Bill putting a rein on these guys. I know, Pipe Bomb, you're a big fan of Contreras.
Absolutely. And, for those, I think, who are saying that because we picked up some terrible catcher a day or two ago in Naylor, that, that means that Gary Sanchez is a possible trade bait. I don't see it. He's one of the only people with actual thump that you can put in a lineup, especially in a late inning situation, unless the Brewers are now trying to make a yearly habit of picking up a crappy catcher around the deadline. They did it with Danny Jansen last year. The little Danny who paid zero dividends. We'll see what Naylor's going to bring us.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Pipe Bomb, you want to stick around?
Sure, man. I ain't got nothing to do.
Okay. All right. He'll stick around. Brewers fall 3-0. Mizorowski gave up a couple of hits, a couple of runs. It was that Meckler kid. That kid down the street. He's on a scooter. He's dirty face, just a bad-looking T-shirt. Always picking on people, the bully. That Meckler kid did it to him. A 2-run home run, and the Brewers couldn't muster up anything offensively. Part of a 3-0 loss, part of a 3-3 road trip. However, they did take 2 of 3 against the Angels over the weekend here, a 69-42 mark. We'll take a break and come back, hear from the Brewers starter, Jacob Mizorowski, here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studio. A little difficult at times asking for some help, but might be even more difficult admitting that you need it. That might be the situation for the Brewers as they fall today 3-0. We're talking about it. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network throughout this great state of Wisconsin. There's the Polish Pipe Bomb, Jeff Orlowski hanging out, Aaron Morse, Tim Allen, and the deadline, just hours keep ticking away. Yeah. Let's get a couple of phone calls in here and read some text messages, Aaron.
All right, let's go to the phones first. Let's go Mike in St. Francis.
Mike, what do you say?
Hey, fellas, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I just think the excuses that I've heard in the past were, this is a family trip out west, so the players aren't as focused, plane stuck on the tarmac. And I think it was Ryan Braun years ago said, I think the sunlight during the day games gets in my eyes at AmFam Field. So it's just like all these excuses. That's not that's not to say, oh, we can just lose a game here and there and just, is it the dog days of summer or what? And I still remember watching Alex Sanchez play center field, dropping easy flyouts and then laughing about it with his teammates. And we don't live in that era anymore, thank goodness. But in Matt Arnold, we trust. And we ride with Bowers and Yelich and Vaughn, and those are our bangers. They're fifth and sixth in the order. I love it. I still believe in this team, and I still want the opponent to beat the Dodgers. In the end, I think I was at Game 6 in 2018, and nobody sat down. Nobody stopped cheering that whole entire time. My friend caught a foul ball, and it was just like it was pandemonium from first pitch, and I still want those memories to last and to create more memories in the future. So thanks, guys.
All right, stay positive. Thank you, Mike. See, now that was cool. I'm from the heart myself too, and I just think you play that Dodgers series again. I don't believe that those pitching performances happen again from the Dodgers pitchers. They can't. They were that historically good. Boom, 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 and boom. All four of them? Come on. That was just the stars lined up. The baseball gods got to level that off. All right, text messages.
All right.
Rattle.
From Jeff. To be a Brewers fan is to be constantly disappointed at the trade deadline while the rich get richer, also known as the Dodgers. The Brewers shop in the bargain bin aisle every year. This team can't slug its way out of a cardboard box right now. They're hitting it with runners in scoring position has been terrible lately. If you get shut out twice in 6 games by 2 of the worst teams in baseball, how are you supposed to beat the Dodgers in the playoffs?
Hey, Shane Drowan, Pipe Bomb, Shane Drowan and Kyle Harrison were hanging on that budget rack down at Dick's Sporting Goods for a while, and the Brewers just henpecked them away from the Red Sox, and look at them. They're really good pitchers.
Yeah, they are, man. Drowan's been a hell of a lot better than I thought he was going to be. That's for sure.
Drowan was my favorite part of the trade. I was not happy, or I guess I wasn't very excited for Kyle Harrison. I was really excited for Shane Drowan.
Yeah, I would have done the deal straight up for Harrison. All 3 of those players, Durbin, Monasterio, and Siegler, straight up for Harrison. In the meantime, you got Drowan on top of that, and you got David Hamilton for what it's worth.
Going back to the Nicolay talk and text line, texting in. Let me start by saying I hope I'm wrong about the rest of the season. Kind of feels like a sprint to see who will get their butts kicked by the Dodgers. Baseball is about to go into potential record-long lockout because the players are okay with the Dodgers winning every year as long as they get their money.
I'm not sure the players collectively, Pipe Bomb, what do you think? I'm not sure that the Brandon Lockridges of Major League Baseball, if you were to ask them, off the record, do you think Lockridge and those types of players have a shot at $100 million deal, $200 million deal, $300 million deal? Do I get a 400? I got a 400 over here. I got a 400. I got a 500 here in LA. You can't tell me that they wouldn't want the major league minimum to go up to 1.5 million.
Yeah, you're 100% right, especially when the increase from the numbers that, that came out already is basically $500,000. and it affects so many players that are automatically, if that the numbers were correct in the final agreement, that they would get a $500,000 raise. You can't tell me that all those guys are going to vote against it.
Right.
Yes, they're going to go in and say that they're all united and everybody's got the same goal and no cap, no cap, no cap. But again, you start missing a couple of them checks, and the wife starts getting angry, and all of a sudden you're like, "Ooh, I'm at home an awful lot. Let me switch my vote." And I don't think it'll be all that long. I don't think it's going to be a historic thing. I don't think it's going to be canceling the World Series. None of that crap. It might be a little bit of a truncated season, but I do think it gets figured out and gets figured out a lot quicker than a lot of people think it will.
I hope so.
All right. Mile High Ty on the YouTube stream, on the Growth Law video stream, not happy with the callers and texters. He says, Brewers top 5 in runs, one of the best hitting with runners in scoring position. Your callers and texters are pretty disappointing. Expected better.
I think they're a good offense. I do. I think they're just inconsistent. So I don't know how you fix that. Maybe that is, to coin a Yelich phrase, he doesn't say it too much, Pipe Bomb, but maybe that's just baseball. That offense will just have high points and low points, but I don't know about that. I think they could be and should be more consistent.
Yeah, they should. Maybe Murphy just has to bust out the taser again, and he can tase the hell out of Christian Yelich, because right now he's hitting like Christian Perkins, and it's just very frustrating. And he's got to get right for the Brewers to make a deep run. So no better time than now.
Christian, don't make me do it, man. Don't make me bust out the guitar and sing Sister Christian. The time has come. Why you don't hit home runs for sure.
All right. I'll get some more text in here quick. I might observe that one home run hitter would not likely have been the difference today. Then says, I need my pipe bomb fix. Another one says, Pat Murphy's awesome. Not perfect, but he's next level. This team has a soul and a beating heart. And then we did say we're reading all text. So Luke in Hartford sent this in. What do you call a dinosaur fart? A blast from the past. So
that's funny.
That. More text. Should we get to a caller? What do you want, Tim? What do you think?
Yeah, let's go to a call.
All right, let's go to Mike in Waukesha.
Hey guys, great show. I watch it every night on YouTube. When I go to bed, it's already over, but I watch it anyway.
Thank you.
I got to say that I'm probably on the other side of the fence. I'm one of the few people that is really happy they didn't do something stupid, because I really don't want that guy who pulls himself out in the 6th inning of a playoff game, for game 5 of a playoff game after throwing 99 pitches. Any really diehard person who's not worried about his paycheck would have been, keep me in here. I don't want to lose this game. But anyway, besides that point, I don't want to give up that much talent. Now, if it had been for the other guy, Mason Miller, I might be a little different on that, because of the fact that, he's got like 3 years or so of you got control for about 3 years of him and stuff like that. But so that way I might go for a trade. I didn't want the Scooble trade at all. The other thing is, one thing I want to say is to all these callers, I hear everybody and a lot of people say, oh, the Brewers can go down the tank and be stinky for 5 years, 10 years, just win me one World Series. Well, I'm old enough to be around for the 1982 World Series. And I remember the next year when we were trading Gorman Thomas for Rick Manning. And the whole team was just not quite what they were the year before, and then it got worse the next year. And it's like, you know what? The same guys that would be saying this stuff would be crying if that team goes down the tank the next 2 years. Thanks for the call, guys.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. When you look at not trading away these prospects, so what you're then counting on is the next wave to roll in all together in about the same time frame. In other words, you have the Terang, Frelick, Mitchell, Contreras, Ortiz via trade. You have these guys, this group, this blue chip group, put it in quotes if you want, all together at the same time. Take advantage of that. Okay, if that wave doesn't work, then you're resting on the next wave to come through, which has all projection sites saying they're going to be great. all the Madeys and Peñas and Fishers and all these guys, and Burke and Braylon Payne, and so then what? When that wave comes through and then edges out the Freelicks and the Mitchells and the Tarangs, the two worlds need to collide a little bit quicker in the framework here. And at the same time, pick the point to go for it with some additional trades. That, to me, is the key. You keep riding these waves in. The first wave that I really experienced on this show was this wave in the early 2000s when you saw linking up with Jeff Jenkins of the world, but linking up with them, you had Prince Fielder and Ricky Weeks and Corey Hart and J.J. Hardy and Giovanni Gallardo and Ben Sheets. And this wave came through, and it did change the culture here a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. But what did you get out of that wave? Okay, you got a couple of playoff appearances, and then they had to exit. Fielder out. Braun was juicing. You had all sorts of things going on, and then a little lull, and then the next wave comes through. So is that just Brewers baseball then? We just continually get collectively this group that waves in all together, and we cross our fingers and we say that, ooh, those kids can play. But where's the top point for a group of young players together? You have to supplement the prior wave, link up with the back end of that wave, which is now, or you have to supplement it with trades. I mean, that's just the way I've experienced Brewers baseball.
Over on the YouTube stream, I need to address a couple of these. Steven says about Arias, he's played 8 career games at third. He's not a third baseman. Why would you move him there?
Neither was Joey.
Yeah, well, and neither were second baseman of Mike Moustakas or Travis Shaw, and they played them there.
Those big boys were turning double plays by bomb.
And then
yes, they were.
And then Big Bubs says, good take in terms of what Mike and Waukesha just said about being good consistently. He said chips are great, consistently winning is better. And I just need to shut that down real quick.
And that begs Aaron, I get you.
Because to me, that is loser talk. What's the point? For me, I don't understand the point of just being like, hey, we're pretty good. That's a cool season. I want a championship, and I don't.
Through that.
That attitude is over. The Brewers are past good seasons. It is time to win a championship and be legit contender, like make a World Series more than once every 50 years.
I hear you, man.
Well, I mean, I don't get it.
Choir for me.
I don't understand why people want to win 90 games a year and then flame out in the playoffs every year instead of doing the ultimate goal. Why we're all fans. I don't understand it. I never will understand it.
Your decisions need to be based on winning a Super Bowl, not winning not being 500.
Can you imagine?
You got to start with being 500. Ned Yost went, well, you got to start with being 5. No, I don't care who you are.
I mean, look at the Pack. Can you imagine if Packers were doing this and being like, yeah, it's okay if we're good? Fans would go nuts.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years, and they keep doing it because they didn't fire the Frenchman as a head coach like they should have. So we keep doing the same thing.
All right, what else you got? You want to hear Miz, or do we have time even? I don't think.
If we take a break right now, we could fit him in.
Yeah, I need to hear from Miz. He was pretty emphatic on a trade question.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to hear this.
All over that.
Yeah, you're going to want to hear this. Pipe Bomb, we're going to turn you loose, dude. Thanks a lot, okay?
All right, boys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There's the Polish Pipe Bomb, Jeff Orlowski. Brewers fall today, but we're talking trade deadline and really the culture of the Milwaukee Brewers on this Sunday. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. It is the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show, and we are here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, buttoning up the show tonight. And this portion of the show is brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. Running a business is like a championship run. One bad hit can take you out of the game. G2 Insurance Services specializes in keeping your business and reputation protected. They offer tailored solutions for restaurants, professional liability, and workman's comp. They represent top carriers like Erie to find the best combination of coverage and price. Get the defensive line your business deserves. G2 Insurance Services in Brookfield, online at g2ins.com. G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. Let's get a couple of comments in from Jacob Mizorowski. A tough luck loss today.
Jacob, how do you assess today, especially after the home run?
I think even with the home run, it was a great day. I threw a pitch that I wanted, and we hit it. So, oh well.
You and William have worked on that, establishing that cutter. There's been a couple of times where guys have got it. Is it important to you to continue that process?
Yeah, I think it's a great pitch. I think it's, right where I wanted it. Put it in a great spot, a ball off the zone, and dude hit it. So, oh well.
Did it affect you at all?
Yeah, it was awful. It was probably one of the worst mounds I've had. It was dry. It was rock hard. So, I had the guys out there fix it 2 times. And, we got it back to being decent. But, yeah, it was awful. It was bad.
When did you first notice it? Right away?
Yeah, right away. It was, you broke it up. And when you got an inch down, it was rock hard. So, it is what it is. And you can't blame it on that. And I got to do my job.
How do you do that when there was one they saw you really slide down the mound as they were fixing it?
Yeah. You can adjust me. That's all you can do. There's not much, you got to figure out a way.
Is that an injury risk?
Yeah, of course. There's always an injury risk. Anytime that, there's something astray, it's always a possibility.
Is that a topic of conversation this weekend at all? Because obviously you guys have had a couple games here before today.
I land so much further than most guys, so they don't really fix that part of the mound, or, it's rare. It's mostly when they tear it down and put it back up. So, no, there's not much they do to the area that I land to.
As we've been asking guys in the clubhouse here about the trade deadline, it's 24 hours away now. What are your views?
I'm good. I don't want to answer it.
Even on the Dodgers?
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. So you can just stop the question.
Now, a couple of things in there. I would keep the talk of his landing spot, his plant land. I would keep that under wraps. Use the same thing about the guy that hit the home run. Use the same sort of philosophy. Dude hit a home run. Move on. Because I'd be awful tempted. If Mizorowski is in my park, I'd be awful tempted to tamper with that mound.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep that to a minimum, Jacob. Just move on with that. Yeah. It's but he just his low heartbeat demeanor. I do appreciate that out of Jacob Mizorowski. Baseball coverage here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Imagine what the Brewers roster is going to look like in less than 24 hours. You've got a lot of Brewers conversation, although camp broadcasts up in Green Bay start tomorrow. But there'll be Brewers and trade deadline conversations throughout the day here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Whether it's the Mason Crosby Show or 9 to noon with Coon, Sparky in the afternoon, Steve Zabin tomorrow morning, and Josh and you, Aaron, wake them up early in the morning.
Yep, 6 o'clock. We'll be talking Scooble.
Very good. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk tomorrow. Brewers and Pirates get underway. This is a 4-game series. The Pirates starting to come back down to earth a little bit. They have some decent pitching slotted in this 4-game series, but they're coming back down to earth. It's a 4-game series, 6:40 first pitch tomorrow. Leadoff show gets you ready at 5, and after the game, we'll meet right here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios for the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. And for Aaron Morse, the Polish pipe bomb, Jeff Orlowski, it was fun having him involved here for about an hour or so. My name is Tim Allen. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. And remember, as always, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.
Smile.